Watching top tennis. That's too aggressive over there if it's working.
See the qualities all right. Good love tap.
Australian Open doubles semi-final at the service end, Howell, Riviere, Tim Chisholm, and the six end, Howell, John. This match will be best of 5 6-game sets. Tim to serve. Nick to receive. Good luck. Level. Bye, guys. Love. Chase. chasers, both to line.
Thought about it, and slowly as I moved my fireballs, I started falling into the net and hurt myself.
You nearly got that.
Sure. 15 up receivers, chase the line. Oh. Second chase the line. Forty love. Game to the receivers. First game, 1 love. Chase the line. Thank you. No idea. No. 15 up.
Good morning, Anders, and welcome everyone to the Royal Melbourne Tennis Club semi-final of the Australian Open Men's Doubles 2017. We have Nick Howell and John Lumley at the service end, trying to put up a spirited challenge to the reigning world champions. And we're just settling into the first game, so it'll be a little bit tense at this stage. A few racket errors, we won't criticise that, that's for sure. We'll wait for another 20 minutes till they settle. So, Anders, do you think the young lads are looking forward to this?
Absolutely, and talking with them before the match after their great win, upset against Ben and Rob Fahey the other day, they're playing with confidence and they're quite spirited.
That's good, because I'm glad you mentioned that win, because that's a huge win against an exceptionally good player and very experienced Ben Matthews. So I think, do you know if these young lads have played together before in a major tournament?
I believe they may have, but
probably only once.
No, not too often. And John Lumley had an excellent result playing with Ben Matthews, upsetting Rob Fahey at Jim Stout at the British Open. So he's becoming a bit of a double specialist lately.
Yeah, he has very, very fast hands. And with Nick's really good railroad and good force, they may well do okay here, but they'll need to serve well. It'll determine so much.
But also, they were very successful at playing a strong, consistent force game in their previous match, and I don't know if that's going to quite cut it here against Tim and Karen.
True, but it'll be a good start. Oh, gee whiz, I don't like receiving that. Now, folks, did you see what just happened then? The railroad hit the high on the back wall, jumped back up on the penthouse. Tim Chisholm could have let it go to be a fault, but because he ran right up to the winning gallery, he was able to take that ball from a long way up the court, and it just doesn't look good from the server's point of view when we see a player charging up and saying, "Oh my God, how do I get out of the way of this?"
That's true. Especially
here's another one, just in case you missed the first one, but Tim, being a very generous fellow that he is, took mercy on the young lads and tried to break the net cord instead.
And damn near accomplished it.
He did, but luckily we have an excellent maintenance man, and he knows exactly how to fix that net cord.
Thanks, Tim. 30 all.
30 all. Is that railroad you were talking about with Nick?
Yes.
40-30 and Chase better
you know,
than
the railroad, people should be wary. I think it's the most overrated serve in the game, because with good volleyers and good forces, you have to first of all keep it out of their volley zone, and then secondly, if you manage to do that, you have to keep it out of their forcing zone. Otherwise it just gets wiped. So let's have a look and see if both or either Nick or
40-30 service, Chase better than 6.
John can avoid those two zones, otherwise it's death and destruction.
I think we saw
Lost the
yesterday
chase.
with Steve
End the
Vergona
game.
how the slower
2 games
railroad
to 1.
that just stuck along the sidewall was more effective than trying to hit the powerful.
You're absolutely right, and the slower the serve, or even if you slow it a little bit, you're making the
Second serve.
receiver think that little bit longer. He can see you running back to the centre, and he has to do more work because the ball is coming slower. So we'll see how they approach their railroad today.
15 love.
Okay.
Rack it over from Cam.
Arco. 15 all.
Couple of loose points from both sides, and then here's Cam's drobble.
30-15.
I think it must have been received in that way.
Most points
40-15.
being lost here, not won, because they're still warming up.
Yeah, it takes a little while before they settle, and obviously with Camden and Tim Chisholm, vastly experienced, wonderful players, and they'll be expecting to win this one comfortably. So they don't need to be in a
30, 40.
great hurry to jump out of the blocks and try and get that first set at all costs.
Agreed. They seem when they play in these type of matches, they're just well enough to win without overdrive.
Juice. Time, please.
There's a game point option there.
Yeah.
Penthouse getting a bit of a wear so far.
It is indeed. Now, folks, did you see that serve that Camden
Advantage service.
He did a slow railroad from the right across on the main wall. And the lesson for the day is there are about 10 completely different, wonderful versions of the railroad done from all around the court. So please don't
3
get
games to
stuck
1.
in this little
3 games to
corner
1.
down
Tim and Cam.
here. Don't get stuck in this corner next to the galleries, thinking that's the only place you can serve to serve a railroad, because it most certainly is not.
Good hands. And ooh.
Wow, how hard! Just good gallery. That was not
Great
a very
anticipation.
Good selection, I would have thought. But anyway,
15 love.
it's still early.
Absolutely.
Chase the second gallery.
Chisholm sprinting over to the galleries to get a ball.
They're starting to get their length. And as I say that, I jinxed Tim.
I do love that yellow racket, Clerge the Elder. Our first ever world champion in the 1750s, was it, Anders, or thereabouts?
Just a little bit of variance, but it seems 1740 to 65 is in most books for his realm.
Okay.
30-15.
Oh, what's that serve called, folks? It's one of my favourite serves.
PK?
It was indeed the PK. It wasn't the best PK I've ever seen, but I do love that serve.
Arco. 30 all. and chase the second gallery.
Johnny's two-handed punch volley.
Yes.
He's been working, releasing earlier, and switching to a one-hander in some shots, but not quite there yet.
Okay. Okay. I guess when he can afford two shoelaces the same colour, that he'll just about have that single-handed backhand down.
So we've got a
40-30 the receivers.
so mixed group. We've got Philadelphia, Tuxedo, Lakewood, and
Chase the
Newport
second
all
gallery.
represented here by our pros.
Two American, an English, and an Australian. A nice mix.
Game
So there's that railroad I mentioned earlier,
4
folks.
games to 1.
It avoided Tim Chisholm's volley zone, but it was high on the back wall and straight into the fourth zone. She was
15 love.
Don't fall for this. You must serve a railroad.
Interesting. Almost looking like a drill out there.
I don't think the lads at the far end are particularly bothered by this standard. So they're just having a relaxing double.
They're also very good with the lefty-righty. When they're playing in their full form, you see a lot of switching when the ball goes up on the penthouse. So they're always hitting a forehand.
Yeah. Very handy ability.
Interesting post. Drop shot.
Chase.
Oh, what lovely soft hands.
Worse than second.
We rarely see that when they're flat out,
30 love, 1 chase.
but it's a delight to see.
It's good for Tim's power game that he shows a little finesse.
I'll say. And most people don't realise that change of pace is a weapon in itself.
15, 30.
Now, a wise man told me that deception is a very important part of this game.
Gosh, that's my favourite subject, Anders. Thank you very much for raising it. Thank you very much. Anyone would think I paid you to say that. Oh, gosh.
A quick study, if nothing else.
If anyone out there listening wants to improve their game, the 2 quickest ways is learn serving much better and learn deception when you get an easy ball. Not when it's tough, just do what you can, maybe lob it back, but when you get an easy ball, and we'll all get a number, using deception is the best way to win a point. Okay.
Self-deception
40-15, receivers chase
is not
worse than
encouraged,
second gallery.
but quite familiar.
Okay, short railroad, nice variant.
Great length.
I think we're in trouble now, yes.
30, 40.
Will this be another railroad version? I hope so. No, it's going to be a fast...
Underhand PK?
Underhand PK. Rarely seen beast. Pretty shame it didn't go in. I think it would have been pretty good.
Johnny getting outside the ball. So
40, 30, chase. Happy.
Okay.
very tidy cut volley.
It certainly was. Good speed.
Something he's been learning from Tim.
Yeah.
That's one of the week.
My 2 favourite types of cut volley are the fast one we just saw and the slow, heavily curled. Well, they've got a lot of side spin. Drift in
40-30 service chase, half a yard.
Very disconcerting change of pace if you've just received 2 or 3 fast cut volleys and then this slow thing comes at you. Your eyes light up, but it's not quite ever where you think it is. Okay.
Nice and relaxed.
Right,
Another game point opportunity lost.
Yeah. Let's do some good serving. Oh dear. Feeding the force, but he can get out of that. Didn't get out of that one.
Missing under the grill,
Advantage.
putting the ball in Cam's forehand is a recipe for disaster.
Indeed. Right on the force zone again.
Well left, and out of play.
Straight over the net on the floor.
Not easy to do that with a backhand force over the net.
Yeah, especially in the low ceiling here at the Royal Melbourne Tennis Club, where they went over 3 of the roof rafters without hitting anything.
A triple wicket.
A hat trick. Straight onto the force again. Oh gosh, that railroad's away.
Another short hop. Almost a good get.
Yeah.
Advantage service.
So again, it's a short hop and
I think that short railroad is
Okay,
always a
service.
good serve. You hardly ever go wrong with it.
2 games to 4.
Railroad just sneaks over that service line and kicks away from you off that floor.
provoked 2 substandard returns from Cam.
Yeah.
Not seen too often.
Okay, here we go.
4-2.
Let's see what Nick's like. Straight onto the foot. Oh, no, that was a very good serve.
And Nick's length is getting that ball low on the back wall, coming back. It's much more effective. That will not be what it is.
And volley. Force volley may well be.
Tim has 4 variations of the cut volley.
Very good. Good to hear. Take note of that, folks. Don't just play one variation of any shot. Add lots of variants.
And what Tim says makes it more powerful is that he does it all from the same starting position, so you can't get a read on it.
That is more powerful. You're dead right.
30-15.
The ball snuck past the tambor wall into the grill.
Out of court. 40-15.
Fortunate that railroad was right in that volley zone. Let's see what zone this one passes through.
2 points, 2 game points here.
Straight onto the force. Destruction. Never
Good defense. Oh,
Chase.
with no reward.
2-3.
all set up by poor serving. Serving is so important, folks. Gee whiz, don't just put it in play. It's the easiest way to practice, get better, is your serving, because you're not on the run, you don't require fitness or strength. You can do it hour after hour by yourself.
40-15, receivers chase 2 and 3.
It's the quickest way to get the most number of poor returns.
Right. Almost like, I know some pros say it's better to go for a good serve and fault than to...
That's a very good point. Chris Ronaldson taught me that lesson in 1975, believe it or not, that's how old I am. He would rather just miss the penthouse with the first serve than serve a poor first serve. Right. Because he could then confidently go back and do a good safe second serve. I don't think I've seen Cam Riviere do an air shot that often. I think that might be the only time I'm ever going to witness that. But it was a rather difficult shot. Oh, a lovely giraffe. Well done. Straight on the volley. Oh, well done.
And chase the second gallery, 2 chases.
Turn and take a gallery off 2 good shots.
He did indeed. It was nearly the IRA shot, nearly kneecapped him, but he played it very nicely. Okay, 4-2.
That's settled in.
Yes, indeed. We can start taking notice now. We've had our fun. The nervous tensions out of the players, well, certainly at this end.
Deuce, first chase the line.
See if they can settle into a nice routine.
Let's see if Nick
Chase
gets
the
that
line.
like we talked
What's
about.
it as a... Oh, yeah. Generous, on the force. Sweet. Then...
Now the galleries are open.
I think they're just enjoying themselves out here.
Gives them now. Post.
Can't believe that happened. That's poor marking. The marker should have taken that point from Riviere for being too fast. Oh, he should never have been able to get that ball.
Advantage servers chase the second gallery.
And I'll speak to the young John, the marker, later on. Unbelievable speed. Blistering speed.
It's a great combination of he's naturally fast in his anticipation,
chase in the game,
he
3
makes
games
him
to
seem
4.
doubly fast.
Does. And then he has wonderful soft hands when he needs to adjust. He's an impressive little package, there's no doubt about that.
15 love.
Okay, 3-4.
So it's a competitive set now.
Yeah, I think the receivers will start being a little more firm with their shot. Starting right there.
Kick save and a beauty.
Little chip into the gallery maybe. Oh no, generous. Very generous. But he's a generous person.
Yes.
30 love.
Let's play it, just giving this team confidence and give them better points to play.
Yeah.
So that railroad.
15, 30.
It's not making Cam have to guess much.
No, it's not giving any trouble. John has some other good serves. Just bang. I don't know why he doesn't try them. Okay.
Has it chased the second gallery.
I think Camden
30-15, 1 chase.
had that winning gallery covered, so
Absolutely. Maybe.
that's That's much better, that short railroad. I really like that serve. Well, they have everything going for them.
Great hands.
Oh, absolutely spectacular chip. Excellent defence.
30 all.
Round the head, badminton shot.
Excellent athlete, Nicky Howell. His hands.
Okay, let's see what this railroad does. It wasn't too bad.
Not too bad.
Forced
Got
to
close enough
boast.
to the sidewall.
Yeah,
and
forced to boast. Down the centre, I like that.
Could have went for the gallery or the chase. The thought was to lose.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Winning gallery, surely, come on.
Oh,
well
smart
done.
shot.
Nicely down.
40-30 and Chase has it second gallery.
Nice show of maturity by the young Brit.
Gosh, yeah. Shame about those shoelaces. Still, you know, he's only young. He probably can't afford a pair of the same colour yet. It's interesting. I do like the fashion changes, and we now start to see two different coloured
40-30 receivers.
sneakers.
Chase has it second gallery.
I always see
Has it,
people
Chase.
playing with some.
Yeah.
I guess with the white policy, you can only express yourself in your footwear.
Yes. Yes. Okay, let's get back to being serious.
And oh, missed his great hands. Great hands by Nicky Howell.
Well,
Game
for
for the
all.
receivers, 4 games all.
Good for the young lads. Taking a while to get settled and now finding rhythm. Let's see. Oh, gee whiz, look out. Oh, comfortably blocked. Almost an insult. He handled that so casually.
Nicky Howell owning the camera.
Yeah. Oh, really a winning gallery.
And here's going to his chance. Keeps the ball under the penthouse.
15 up.
That was all Nick's point right there.
Sure was. Very well played. Good scramble. It was a tough volley return.
Let's see if Nick is.
Chase, the last gallery, 15 up, 1 Chase.
Excellent choices.
He is. I was looking for the big straight force there.
That made 5 of us except for Nicky.
No, I love that slow railroad. It was a very good one. Oh, it's a lovely volley. Just quietly.
Sorry, not quite enough on that
15
ball.
all.
No. Tim Chisholm had hardly any backswing on that volley. Really good.
Chase, 4 yards.
Speed.
Lovely ball.
speed.
And as you mentioned before, down the middle, very effective, even on the
15
top.
all, last
top
gallery,
Even
4 yards.
well, especially at top level, they cover the corners so beautifully. So, anyone listening out there who loves their doubles, your eyes should light up when you get an easy ball at either end. First choice, think down the centre. Maybe you won't decide to go for it, but keep it in your mind because we're always looking into the corners, sidewall, tamball, or under the winning gallery, and it can often catch us by surprise.
15 all, first Chase, the last gallery.
Played a low part of the net as well. Get low on the back walls,
Absolutely.
usually well rewarded.
Yeah, you're dead right there, Anders. Okay, Nicky, let's see what your railroad's like. Not close enough.
30-15, Chase, 4 yards.
So could have stepped in
Casual
before.
little force. Right into the cut volley zone. Definite destruction.
40-15.
Yeah, so he's
2
over
good opportunities
two.
there missed.
Yeah.
And like you
Okay.
said, serves were not of caliber.
Up.
One into the volley zone, one into the force zone. Let's see what he does here on his second serve.
Basically feeding the beast of Tim Chisholm.
Yeah, straight onto the volley zone.
30, 40.
Fortunately,
Time to-
Tim, as we mentioned, is very generous occasionally. And does the
Maybe still hints of jet lag on that one.
okay, let's see what this is like. Right onto the volley zone again.
Got it. Oh, fed the beast on that one.
He sure did. Okay.
Chase, better than
Bandow.
A cunningly thought out bando by Camden Riviere.
40-30,
When all else
Chase, better
fails,
than the last
Anders,
gallery.
always look for the underside of the bando.
Yeah, it's saved many a quandary for me.
Yes, but of course on the other side of the coin we could say 1 inch lower and it was in the dead on, 1 inch higher and it was up on the penthouse. So Just a lucky break.
40-30
That
service
last
chase
point,
better than last.
They had control, but John got sucked into just hitting hard.
And trading shots with Camden.
Camden was
Yeah.
just usually a losing proposition. Yeah. A rare unforced error
Game
from
to the
Nick.
service, 5 games
Weight
to
all
4.
on the back foot. Never that easy.
A 5 for Camden and Tim. So that's just
Change of pace and fluid.
I'd like to have seen a little more thought in that. Lumley back.
15 up.
Slow ball. Change of pace is a weapon in itself. Don't forget that, folks.
There's a change of pace serve from Cam.
Yeah. And a 4 return, so Tim has a sidewall tambour. No.
That's Tim's favorite shot to go to the gallery from that side. John's launched.
Oh, cunning tambour boast. Sorry, Camden, you're too
Camden's
small
a
for
little
that.
altitude challenge there.
Very entertaining. Very
30
entertaining.
love.
Demi PK, back wall force. No, he's decided
Chase
to
to
go
the
for
second
the
gallery, 30 love, 1 chase.
Oh, short railroad.
And
Lovely
chase
second
better than
volley.
half a yard, 2 chases.
Beautiful. Okay. Fine.
Right. We've got a shout out to the US to Coach Neil Smith. Must be way past your bedtime, but we appreciate you watching.
Yes, what is the time in the US at the moment? Is it 9:35 or thereabouts, 9:40 p.m. on the Eastern Board?
8:40.
Love receivers
8:40.
first chase the second gallery.
Okay, very
I
good.
haven't moved my watch back yet.
Okay.
And a weak railroad.
Interesting attack. Oh, cunningly placed
One chase.
right between Lumley and Howell.
John struck an
40
interesting
love,
pose there.
chase better than half a yard.
Just a little confusion.
With the short railroad. Actually, he's going to get rewarded for it.
Fed the beast, but he was fortunate.
Time, please. 15-40.
Okay, let's see if we can
One set
declare this railroad. One set point now, is it?
point. One set point averted. And let's see.
Oh, how did he get that? Almost.
Not bad with a chase on board.
40-15 and has
Good
its second gallery.
Yeah, but the angle was pretty fine. I think down the centre would have been a safer option.
That's that Cam effect of taking away your grill options, knowing he's waiting for you.
Yes. Okay.
40-15 service has its second gallery.
Left his drag serve. Camden's under a bit of, oh dear, a bit of pressure, but Nick took some.
Excellent hands.
Game and the first set to the service. 6
An
games
opportunity
to
there.
4.
Good first set.
Very good first
Second
set.
set, Tim to serve. Nick to receive level.
I don't think we're getting relief from the commentary box, so I might do one more set.
Thank you. 15 love. Out of it.
Good luck.
30 love. $15.30.
A little bit of a come down here from that first set.
Yes, indeed, indeed. I hope my friends at the Racket and Tennis Club in New York are watching. Special
40-50.
hello to Tony Villa, the man, the legend. Loves his tennis.
I think you just got a good example of what you mentioned. Nice little deceptive 2 bounce. Got a service winner.
Game to the service. First
See,
game,
these-
second set.
It's
One
interesting.
game left.
You'd think they were lollipops, those serves, but when when a player is receiving fast serves all the time and then a series of slow serves comes along, they don't even have to be really tight. The rhythm has been broken so dramatically that it's easy to snatch or wait too long. Oh, a nice giraffe. Unlucky.
Oh,
Agreed. It's just like in the American baseball, the changeup just changes the velocity. Will throw timing off as much as.
Okay. Yeah.
out of court.
A
15
rare,
all. Time, please.
really big swing from Riviere on the volley. He's normally has a very compact, punchy backswing, but he was just a fraction late because his swing was too big.
A little faster.
Yeah. It's a very good
30,
snap
15.
release from John Lumley. The railroad demi. Nice variety.
Chase better than the last. 30, 15, one chase.
Couple good 4 strokes in a row.
Indeed.
You mentioned Cam changes the cadence of the serve.
Yeah.
40, 15, and chase better than the last gallery.
And John Lumley gesticulating that the ball was swirling around a little bit. With an extra bit of side spin. Very easy to miss hit. Not sure what they're drinking, but
I think John has got Windex.
it did look like it. It was a bit of a worry. Maybe he's blurry vision. As he gets older, I'm sure he'll
40,
realise
15
that
service chase better
champagne
than
is
the
the
last
only
gallery.
cure for such an ailment. And these young boys haven't learnt that yet, but they will. Oh, very good. Nice angle. Not that easy.
Game to the service, 1 game all, second set.
Nice sharply struck. Note, folks, that he didn't push that ball and hope that it would go in the hazard gallery. He struck it very crisply. Very important if you want good control. Don't ease up
15
on
up.
it and push it.
Commit to your shot.
Absolutely. Oh, nicely covered. Centre, very good line. Will he go down the centre again, or a little chip? Oh, that was showing a lot of confidence. Oh, yes.
Good play.
You don't see that very often. What a wonderful little shot. Did that hit twice on that
15
ledge?
all.
Yeah, I think it hit the ledge, underneath the roof, ledge again, and rolled off.
I don't think I've ever seen that in 43 years. Worth coming over from Tasmania just to watch that.
Oh.
30, 15.
Interesting comment you made earlier, Anders, about the left-handed and right-hand combination. They're very keen to get either of them on the forehand, and they can do it from both corners.
As we saw in the World Doubles last year, because
Chase better
both
than last.
finalist teams had a lefty-righty
30, 15, one
combination.
chase.
There was quite a lot of switching, not only on return serve, but on balls on the roof. It was always deferring to the forehand.
Okay. I did note that during that World Doubles Championship, as opposed to here. Oh, lovely finish.
Tim Chisholm was out Chisholmed on that shot.
Chisholm. And Riviere
40,
saying, well,
15,
where
chase better
were
than
you?
the
What
last
are you
gallery.
doing up there if you're not going to defend it?
That was the shot that Tim won the World Doubles on.
It was indeed. But getting back to the my
lefty-righty.
recollections of the left-right-handed combination of Fahey and Vergona, I think most of that match, Fahey played the main wall corner, Vergona played the gallery corner, and it exposed 2 weaker backhands for the down the centre shot.
Yep.
And I noted that many of the go-to shots by Riviere and Chisholm were down the centre because they were then onto one backhand or the other. So that can be a little problem because they were always on the defensive because of that. So obviously they have played many times
40,
before
15,
and they're comfortable in those
receivers chase
roles.
better than
But
last gallery.
Sure, and so when you make a switch, again, no matter where you go on the court, you still have a backhand.
Yeah.
And so, there's a trade-off.
Lost the chase. 30-40.
Something else that you'll see also that Tim and Cam do, which is very unique, is that they'll go to see where Tim is right now.
Yeah.
He'll go up short
On the main wall.
on the main wall to cut off
Cross-court floor shot.
floor shots, and they'll do it inconsistently just to keep the other team guessing as to where you are.
Nice force down the centre. Over the backhand.
Game to the receivers, 2 games to 1.
First person I ever saw play up sort of last gallery-ish on the main wall was Frank Shields. I saw him on a film.
FX Shields.
Cut up.
Yeah, he was playing with Pierre at the time against A.B. Martin and Ogden Phipps. And he was cutting off the big cut volley cross-court return of serve, knowing that his faster partner, and in the case that you just alluded to, with Chisholm up on the main wall, he could let that go confidently with a fast partner to cover him, should it go wide of him.
Right.
But it does make the receiver think very carefully about just playing their favourite cut volley cross court without fear. Now they have to go wider or thinner. Oh yes. So here's a nasty little shot, but a good casual, not casual, but careful lob back into play.
Chase, second gallery,
Tough with
40
the ball is bouncing better than they are there.
Yeah.
So Frank Shields is another one, like we were talking earlier about Gene Scott, a top flight lawn tennis professional that transitioned into court tennis and did quite well in his own right.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
You know, Frank Shields actually lost the finals of Wimbledon without ever hitting a ball. Not a lot of people know that.
That's not an easy thing to do. How did he manage that?
He, I believe it might be 37, but I'm not sure. He got to the finals and playing against Sidney Wood, and they had to play, I believe, in a Davis Cup a week after, and at the time that was considered the pinnacle. And so he allowed a walkover to conserve
2 games all.
for a Davis Cup match the following week. So there was a Wimbledon final without a ball being struck.
Now, that's a man who loves his country. Oh my gosh. Well, Frank Shields, member of the Racket and Tennis Club New York, my home away from home. Absolutely fabulous people down there at the Racket Club.
That's a great
I
facility.
love them all.
30 love.
No greater supporters of the game.
Pop.
Just short from the fault. Okay.
Yeah, and one of the 5 facilities with 2 courts at the facility.
Yep.
Good hands. Because you said there's no spin at all needed, just putting a ball softly with length.
Yes. Yes. Pierre gave a great lesson on spin. He was asked in a clinic right here on this very court in 1975. We were all dressed in our civvies, and Pierre was on the court with his long whites, and someone asked the question, Pierre, which ball should you cut and which ball should you not? And I never forgot his answer, and his answer went something like this. He said, the ball coming towards you, directly towards you, you cut the least, and the ball with no forward or backward movement, so it can be, say, a penthouse ball that has only a little forward movement, or it can be like a high drop or a giraffe, so it's coming out directly across the ball, across the court. And he said that's the ball you cut the most severely. And as the angles decrease, you cut less and less until the ball is coming to you, and then you cut it the very least. Now, it doesn't mean you can't cut it, but you run the risk of mistiming. So I never forgot that lesson. So the slower the ball in its forward or backward movement, the heavier you can cut it. And when the ball's coming straight to you or straight off the back wall, cut it the least.
That makes sense.
Chase, worse than 3.
And that's you're able to shape a ball that's not traveling with velocity.
Yes.
15 love. Oh.
Oh, went for the underarm PK again. What a shame. I'd love to see one go in.
Yeah, he's over 2. I think we'll probably see a few more try before the end of this match.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing you get no. Again, just a loud ball to the main wall.
Nick, nearly a Nick.
See the Cam and Tim change positions.
Yes.
Almost in each other's laps.
It was a fun rest, but very patient defence from Chisholm especially.
Ready, love?
In trouble, just stay calm, just put the ball back slowly, make your opponent generate all the pace again, and see if they can out-hit you.
It's good from the I've heard from the adage of you can have nice long points from the service side, and you want to kind of speed up the points over with on the hazard side.
Indeed.
Oh, it's a great. Oh,
Wonderful.
40 love and chase, worse than 3.
interesting geometry in that play.
It sure was.
And Johnny's back to his Windex. All right.
Back to Windex, I love it.
Antimicrobial. We'll have to talk to him after the match about the shoelace paradigm.
Chase worse than 3.
It's a modern trend. That's
Maybe
all it
there's
is.
some hidden endorsement that we're not privy to.
It's all colourful.
It's good. Well, last year he was sporting his sleeve on his calf. This year it's the shoelaces.
Yeah. Personal touch.
Lost the chase, fell worse, better than 4.
Okay.
15-40.
1 game point. Nice.
Stroke. Game to the receivers.
Like you mentioned there, I mean, that
4
was a
games
very
to 2.
flat punch, cut volley on his backhand, and very effective.
Indeed it is. Much more control. Is that railroad straight into the volley zone.
And
15 up.
Tim's still
Half asleep, I think.
generous.
Generous. Indeed generous.
Up.
No real need to open up with all guns blazing.
Tim possibly may have made a commitment to stay on Eastern time in the U.S. in anticipation of his travel back to the U.S.
I like it.
So he can come out flying on his back in tuxedo.
Yeah.
To telegraph there.
Thank you. 15-30.
Now, did we see what happened there, folks? Nicky Howell was up at chase 6 on under the galleries. Riviere hit a ball that went into the low battery wall under the galleries,
40,
just in
15.
front. And Nick, the only way he could have played that was to attempt a risky half volley off the wall. And when he gets a little bit older, he'll wave over that, knowing that his partner
had a much better opportunity.
is covering him just in case he decides to leave it.
Youth is wasted on the young.
I like that. I like that.
But the boy has hands.
As a chase. 40-15.
It's interesting how this court, for those who have not been to
40-15
Melbourne,
receivers, chase hazard,
is
half a
a
yard, hazard chase.
concrete block, a tilt slab court built in 1974-5, and it reminds me very much of the playing characteristics of a Bickley court, like a New York court, with the exception that the ceiling is much
Lost the
lower.
chase. Game to
And
the
it was an
receivers,
interesting
3 games
test
to 4.
because it was the first court built anywhere in the world for I think about 50 years, and certainly none had been built out of a tilt slab concrete block. So even when it was just finished,
Chase
and
the
they
first gallery.
were painting the court, they were yet to know whether this would be a disaster or turn out really well. So
15 love.
the engineering and the architecture and the planning and their test pieces all paid off because it plays absolutely beautifully.
Winning the test of time as well.
Oh, indeed. Indeed it is. For all you architecture fans out there, a very, very famous Australian architect, Darryl Jackson, designed this club.
Out of court.
And you'd think it had only been built a few years ago,
30 love. 1 chase.
not counting the discoloration on the
Corrugated
corrugated
Chase worse than the yard.
clear plastic.
2 chases. First gallery and worse than the yard.
It's also
30 love.
I found it to be very viewer friendly,
It is.
not only from the galleries, but also being back here in 2014, how it really came alive with the people above the penthouse sidewall.
Yes, indeed. It's interesting you say how many two-court clubs have upper galleries in the middle. I think the Racket Club in New York has their upper gallery in the centre of the two courts.
Yes.
In Melbourne here, the upper gallery is only above the service wall on the championship court. Do Queens have an upper gallery?
Queens
Anders?
does have an upper gallery.
But is that above the dead-on the north
They
court
have
only?
They have the viewing gallery above the penthouse on the service side, and I believe they do have some viewing
Service
above
lead,
the
30
main
love.
wall. I'm not quite sure.
First chase
Okay,
is the
and
first
where are
gallery.
the other
Prested?
two clubs? I haven't been there, so do they have an upper gallery?
I do not believe they have but they have a
worse than the yard.
transparent hazard back wall, so you
Ah,
can watch the match.
is that above the penthouse or below?
This is actually below the penthouse,
Oh,
much like the Romsey court here in Australia.
okay. And is Cambridge the other double?
Cambridge is a two-club facility, but they're not side by side. They are. One is down the hallway from the other, so they're not adjoining.
Oh, okay.
15-30 chase worse than a yard.
Okay. Oh, very good. Okay. So we're obviously watching from. We're not obviously watching, but we are watching from the mezzanine viewing
Lost the chase. Fell 2.
gallery above the penthouse
40-50.
at the service end. Ah, yes. I could have waved.
It's a great viewpoint.
Game to the
I'll
service.
just-
4 games all.
I'll just give a
Second
wave.
set.
Bit of a wave. Young Peter Pell, my friends at the Racket Club, Tony Villa, Bob Hay, Big Sam,
Chase a yard better than first.
and every single tennis lover around the world. I hope you're enjoying the different camera work they have here in Melbourne. And if your club does not have such a setup, then get
15
it.
love.
Slacken off no longer. I really love watching my
Chase,
Grand Slam
worse than
events from
5.
around the
2
world,
chases.
and having one camera stuck in a corner up near the clouds, forget it. Oh,
A yard better than the
hello
first,
there,
worse
folks,
than
to
5, 15
all
love.
all and sundry. Is that camera going to stand this view?
Yeah, we're hitting 14 time zones.
Oh, very good, very good. Oh, hello up there. Hey, hey.
Cheers.
It's past midday. I think it's time for champagne. The
15 love
commentators
service.
need a
First chase a yard
champagne.
better than the first gallery.
Oh my God, what's wrong with this club?
That's almost a good level, but good enough.
Sure. All right, enough of the
Johnny
frivolity.
Lumley.
Let's get back to the match.
And we have as we did the
30
first
chase
set, we have
worse
a
than
fairly
5.
tight second set here.
Lost the chase.
Bad luck there.
Was
40 love.
3 game points for 5-3. Tim with his demi. And great length
very
by
good.
Cam.
Game to the service.
Once again,
5
not
games
a
to
not
4.
a
Second set.
fast, punishing shot under the grill, but change of pace and good cut.
With some indecision as to whether or not Tim would come to play.
One paced play, doesn't matter what the speed, is not the best way you can go about your business.
That is Cam's twist giraffe that he uses when he's defending short chases
Yeah,
in singles. Oh, he's working on it
Chase
for
the
his
last
singles
gallery.
match coming up.
it may well be. Absolute cracker of a match, I think it will turn out to be. Well, we hope so.
Got a regenerated, reverberated, bionic Steve Regona.
Well, he was down 5-4 in the
50
fifth set, 40-15 or 40 love maybe against Kieran Booth, so he got out of jail.
6 match points averted.
Oh,
Maybe a record.
and he surely did come back with a new lease of life against Fahey. Played an exceptionally good, solid final set. It's a lovely soft hand.
15.
Okay, 5-4 Chisholm and Riviere.
Johnny's
Peppering away.
peppering away, trying to break the sound barrier. Cam's just going for length.
40-15 and chase the last gallery.
Going for length and wood. I'm sure he didn't realise that Chisholm was right behind him with a pretty good view of the ball, but we don't have eyes in the backs of our heads, and we only have a half second to make up our minds.
Yeah. Well, they've got a good court sense of each other, and so usually the up man has what seems like freedom to roam.
That's a very good description, because if one player is confident
chase the last
when
gallery.
he's at the front that he can let the ball go, knowing his partner or her partner will be somewhere nearby covering, it just gives them more confidence to go up the court and play some good shots. Generosity.
Tim's generosity keeps coming,
Game to the service, 5 games all. Second
and we
set.
have
Maybe a summer affliction.
we have a 5-all game here.
Okay. Will we see a big explosion from Tim at
15 love.
full bore? Let's see what these railroads dish up.
And that is the 4th or 5th ball to cross the net on a fly, which of course means you've lost the point. I don't think I've ever seen more than 1 or 2 in a match.
Oh,
Great target hitting. One misses a target, one hits a target.
yes, well left by
15.
John Lumley and well covered by Nick Howell with the
And
missed
it
name
is-
all force. So
Oh,
very
and
good
Nick
serve.
Nick nicks, and
Oof.
you've got 2
40,
set
50.
points. See if you can get another one. Tim's not going to let that happen.
Chase. Worse than 3. 40-50.
Very nonplussed by Tim to hit a great cut volley.
Indeed, a very sharp cut volley it was. Nothing slow about that. Maybe it's the black socks.
Could be. Those are. Tim's been
40-15
battling
receivers chase
some
worse than 3.
plantar fasciitis, and he found a sneaker online called Kuru that was designed specifically for that. He says it's been giving him tremendous relief.
Okay. Well, that's good news. That's about as casual a winning gallery as you can ever
30,
possibly
40.
imagine.
Time days.
Okay,
1 set
30-40.
point averted, but now
There's another.
no short chase to defend.
So, will this serve give Nick Howell a big force or not? Sure did, but he's generously
Yes.
taken over from Chisholm as the master of generosity.
Message on. I do like that he went low. He was going over down the middle.
True, but that could be the last chance they get. That looks exceptional, but it wasn't quite.
He redeemed himself.
Yes, indeed.
Advantage.
Now let's see if he can. And that was quite a good serve too.
It was. Okay.
Let's see if Tim goes his slow sidewall. And oh, generosity galore. And the ultimate gift.
Which we do not see very often. But in Riviere's defence, the ball was going to bounce in to
And in
chase the
second
door
set,
gallery.
6 games to 5.
Well, I think a little
Tim to serve, Nick to
chip
receive
straight
level.
down the line was about his only other option.
Or maybe if you decide to hit the ball with the
Chase,
strings.
second gallery.
Well, it's amazing. That's a force multiplier. People probably don't realise that
That is a tough shot.
well
you're right.
enough that if you're deliberately trying to hit the ball in the frame, chances have diminished markedly. Okay, now I think it's time for some new commentators, and I think we have Chris and Sarah Reston next to us, who I believe may have volunteered to take over. They've come all the way from England,
Preston to Judy.
and it's really kind of them to do this. No, I'm only joking. Our two wonderful friends from the UK. We love seeing them here.
They may have wanted to take that hazard chase there.
Yeah. Oh, winning gallery.
And
30 left.
so, Graham, what do you think psychologically in a situation like that, where you have a definitive hazard chase, you roll the dice, and then you lose the point? How often does that linger?
Look, I think it's a very
15,
good
30.
question, and different people handle it a different way. I learnt an interesting, not a lesson, I guess a view from Northrop Knox, world champion 1959-69 from New York and Aiken. And I asked him, when should we leave the ball to make a hazard chase? And he said quite an interesting thing. And he thought, unless the pressure situation was enormous and your group's getting very sweaty, then he would always play the ball towards the galleries if he thought he had a very easy shot. But if he couldn't guarantee 9 out of 10 that he could hit that ball in the galleries, then he'd let it go, because a gallery chase clearly is better than a hazard chase.
Right.
So
It's a bit of a variation, because I remember from speaking with the Boswicks that Pierre was not a big fan of hazard chases, in doubles, and that he would play most of those balls.
yes, so very few people will have a front player, he or she, even chase the door, because you're staring at just making too many racket errors. So the chase the line, the first gallery and the door gallery are almost always open.
Gallery.
And from up the court on the main wall half, you have a nice easy angle. And what a lot of people don't keep in their minds, but I'm sure people like Tony Villa, I'm sure he's watching Tony, he would never miss an opportunity. If the ball were up the court in the hazards, near the hazard gallery, he would do a little tiny drop shot across the court into the main wall.
First game of the third set.
Well, I'm sure he would want to do it if he thought of it. So so all I'm saying is you can be on either side of the court, one with a wide open gallery, one with hardly any angle for the gallery, but an equally short shot across to the main wall does get you a long chase.
And playing the low part of the net, which helps.
Absolutely.
That's a great main wall buzz.
Sure was, nice and fast.
Into the grill from Nick. Nick has had a lot of targets in the last set.
It's interesting watching the two young lads, and as that you just hit the nail on the head there, where Nick has been hitting most of his attacking forces straight, and John has been hitting most of his attacking forces as a boast off one of the walls.
Yeah, which is safe, but it doesn't really,
it is safe,
doesn't really
but it's
stress players like Tim and
Chase,
Cam.
better than 6.
It
15
needs
all,
much
one
more
chase.
precision to get through two players.
I think that Nick played very consistently solid. I think that may have been the difference in that set.
Yeah.
I will say, from watching the British Open, that Tim and Cam had a
30-15.
very, very difficult finals match against Bryn Sayers and Ricardo Smith. Won 4 sets.
Okay.
So it's not unfamiliar territory for them to be pushed.
No. And I'm sure good for them.
Thank you.
So that was a good example. Tim Chisholm had that ball well and truly covered at around the hazard 2 yard line, but the boast went into the low sidewall nick on that main wall. So even though he had a very wide angle to the galleries, the ball is only inches from the ground, and so he waved over the ball, saying to himself clearly that this is not an easy enough ball for me to guarantee a 9 out of 10 chip into the gallery, so I shall take the hazard. So just highlighting the principle.
Now, Johnny Lumley there played a very effective return of serve, as opposed to blasting.
Yes.
Unfortunately, not rewarded.
40-15, chase hazard better than 2.
And here to see what he does on this with a hazard opportunity. Cam is. Great shot.
Chase. And again.
It's a very good first defence because the serve wasn't too flash. John hit an extremely good main wall dead on force. But a wonderful defence allowed the servers to get back into that rally and then win it.
It would have been an out-and-out winner against most teams.
There's no doubt about that. Could this nasty shot. Very nasty on the wall.
15 love.
Still, we all get a little bit of luck. Run our way. All evens out over the course of a long match.
I'll tell you what's nice to watch is watching the players, especially on the hazard side, how they're going and covering different spots. A lot of movement between the shots.
Yes.
And looking for the optimum defense angle.
Stroke.
Yes, Johnny defending the drill beautifully on that, back to back.
30 love.
Wonderful force.
Still lighting up the targets.
Yes, indeed. Doesn't say a huge amount for the serves, but it's not his fault. He can only do the best he can do, and he's doing it extremely well.
As Jimmy Burke told me earlier on, you got to play what they give you.
You're dead right.
If they give you an easy one, so be it.
Yeah.
And generosity seems to be the name of the order of the day here.
Dear, I'm sure that Tim's not out of second gear, really.
Now, do you think on that one, Nicky was just going for the high back wall just to get a
Well, I
long
don't think
chase?
so. I think he saw some colourful clothing in the mezzanine gallery, just like John then, and tried to show their displeasure. Oh, gee, that's a shot I never ever like to see. I really don't, and you should apologise. I think it's appalling behaviour on the court, and I'll call it out. He struck that ball from at least hazard second and hit it very, very hard straight for the grill, and the person under the grill has nowhere to go. And I hate seeing it because one injury, that hits you in the throat, and they're coming to see you, Anders.
No, that's...
Well, they're probably going to the Undertaker. It's even worse. So it's really a bad thing.
Time, please.
So an improper force is at the lesson
Watch
now.
it.
Don't just think about that from within the hazard lines to the dead on, but also from right up the court like this position to the ball under the grill.
Chase.
You can by all means
Gallery,
go for the
2
winning
chases.
gallery as hard as you please. We don't have to go up there and cover that. But the standard position of one player is going to be somewhere near the grill, and that can come off the wall at you at that speed. And if you couldn't have hit that ball at the base of the tan ball, then I'll hit this court.
Correct, so the ball should not... you're inside, if you're past the last gallery line, you should not be forcing at a target through a human being.
As hard as you can hit it, and that was awfully hard. By all means, take pace off it.
30 love receivers, first chase, hazard better
A lot
than
of
2.
other options
Hazard
besides
chase.
that.
Yeah. But
Maybe
he did realise immediately that he should not have done it, and he apologised profusely to the court. And,
40 love, chase the first
I'm
gallery.
sure you'll never see him do that again. So no more needs to
First
be said
gallery.
about that.
I think he wanted to demonstrate the structural integrity of these gold leaf brackets which he's playing with.
Well, they do tell me that there are a lot of really good
15,
reports
40.
from the people who are playing with them, so I think it's a great addition to the game that the players now have a choice. Racket manufacturers, which we haven't had.
Oh, you know what? And as you
Chase the
said
last
that,
gallery.
I think maybe
40-15.
inside this winning gallery line as well. We'll have to
Well,
have a little chat with Camden.
I won't harp on that because I've said my piece, and a lot of modern players have completely different views. They often think that's okay.
can't hit them like that.
I'm
then
not
you
on the
play with
judging
ball.
panel, but I can absolutely assure you, if that had happened in my time when I was in New York, you'd be on the street.
40-15
And I
service,
think rightly
chase the
so.
last gallery.
But as I said, the modern view is a little different. So the powers that be make their best call on what they think is a right and fair decision.
Game to the service,
and
3
they've
games
made
to
their
1.
call. So that's it.
Maybe a little bit of frustration of letting that second set slip away, but that's as much to do with them as their opponents.
Well, I thought their opponents
15 up.
deserved their win completely. They stayed up for it.
Yep.
As you said, they hit a lot of good targets, so I think really good for them.
As at the door. Out of court. 30 double.
That's a good serve.
40-11 chase
Lovely
has
wide
at the
serve.
door.
If that ball gets to the back wall, it nose dives for a second bounce.
I'd never seen that served in a high standard match until I arrived in New York, and my doubles partner Denny Phipps. What a wonderful, wonderful man he was, and an extraordinary player. And that was his preference as a first serve. And I asked him once why he wanted that. And he was such a good volleyer that he wanted to
40
just
receivers, chase
serve
has
that
at the door,
wide,
has it,
move
chase.
across to the galleries, knowing that that ball was in the centre of the court and they're likely to hit it straight back to him. So he wanted it.
Oh,
Great defence. Fantastic.
Oh.
Very well played.
Just inducted
15,
into
40.
the USCTA Hall of Fame just last month.
Excellent.
Oh.
Excellent. Sadly passed away in April after an amazing life. Fabulous supporter of both tennis and thoroughbred racing. We're very lucky to know him.
And also nice because he was also speech was given by the induction speech was given by
30-40.
Jimmy Boswick, former champion, who was a very big proponent of Denny Phipps being put into the Hall of Fame.
I didn't know that.
And I interviewed him last December. It's nice that what a nice guy Jim Boswick is. That he spent as much of his time just advocating that Denny should be considered for Hall of Fame and taking the spotlight away from himself. And I'm glad that that didn't go on deaf ears because he was very, very happy that he was inducted. Jimmy doesn't make any public appearances, but he made it to the R&T
Wow.
to give that speech, and it was a delightful speech full of a lot of memories.
Well, how nice is that? I didn't know that. I'm so pleased that I stayed here for the second set of the commentary.
Game to the receivers. 4 games to 1.
Otherwise, I may never have heard that. So, great hello to Jimmy Boswick. We don't see him very often. I'm lucky enough to catch up with him each year when I come over to the States. But as you're right, he doesn't make many public experiences, but his recollections of the game and his study of the game were just phenomenal, as, of course, are Pete's, as his brother. So we're very lucky to have had you interview both Pete and Jimmy for the record, because it won't be that long, and most starting players won't even not only know who they were, but they won't have access to them either.
30-15.
And I mean, these are their living history, our oldest surviving world champions.
Oh,
Johnny
sorry.
Lumley's racket
Early call.
pays homage
First
to
serve.
Pete and Jimmy.
And I think that's a wonderful touch. Do you know whose idea that was?
First
Oh,
serve.
that's just something on the inside.
Oh.
But it's nice. You can spin beside. You can pick your favorite brother,
I think it's
and hopefully you'll win the serve.
well. I think it's great.
30 all.
Okay. Hope you don't mind, folks, that we're reminiscing and telling stories a lot. You can see the game as well as we can, and you can see the score. But just one last point on Jimmy Boswick. He gave me my
40,
best
30.
serving lesson ever. And we're out at his house. We're having dinner. And I said, Jimmy, what do you think the aim of the serve is? Because I was wondering which serve to practice to get the most aces, whether it be a giraffe or a one drop
Chase the
or a
door.
railroad. And he said,
Has
oh, Graham,
40-30.
you're on the wrong track completely. I'm not sure what you've been what you've been drinking lately, but it's certainly not
Champagne.
Not champagne, because that would have given you a clear head, even though Jimmy didn't drink and hasn't for a long, long time. But he said that the aim of the serve is to make the receiver misread the ball by 6 inches, because that means you take away the first option of the receiver. Because trying to serve an ace is a very, very, well, we just don't serve aces very often to top players.
Service chase has at the
But if
door.
you can make them just go to their second option, they may well play it very well. They may do a great effort, but it's not their first option. Wow, this is a wonderful bit of tennis until winning gallery attempt by Tim Chisholm. Amazing. That's worth the replay, folks.
No other sport will give you that much geometry and variation in 1 point.
Sheesh. Euclid, eat your heart out.
A nice little cut shot down the
Yes,
corner.
change of pace again, Anders. We're noticing it quite a bit. Once they throw in the change of pace, it's so easy to miss hit it.
Deuce.
It's a game point. Out the window.
Well, they're being a bit more serious.
I would
They've
say-
raced out.
Probably came serve. Probably
Chase,
did
better than
throw
3.
Johnny Lumley off by the 6 inches you mentioned.
Yes. And it's...
And see how Cam goes to a different serve right away. That's a good return.
Yeah.
Nicky reads the tambo beautifully.
It's a lovely little shot.
Advantage.
Cam does his patented ultra length
Yeah.
ball into the corner with no response.
Advantage and chase better than 3.
I think that Jimmy Bostwick's point on serve is spot on. I think unlike lawn tennis, where the serve is the most important shot, it seems the return here, and if you can neutralize that just to the point, then the server gains the advantage for the majority of the point once the ball's in play.
Absolutely.
Advantage, the
I
receivers
remember
chase better
asking
than
Jimmy
3.
once, what are the best serves to stop the big cut volley and the big force? And he said he didn't know of such a serve, but he thought you cannot, well, he said you cannot stop those shots, but you can and should make every effort
the
to
receivers 5 games
minimise
to 1.
how
That's it.
many times they get that ball. And then, of course, we came into the conversation that I just mentioned. And I thought it was maybe one of the best lessons I ever had on serving. And it's over dinner at Jimmy's place.
And tell you, well, the more you think about it, the more total sense it makes. And you see on this pass serve how Nicky's
15 up.
railroad came off the sidewall too early, and it falls right into Tim's strike zone.
Yeah.
And you can just see how he can hit the ball so cleanly, and you're in utter defense.
Yeah, it's almost like a baseball, a one-handed baseball swing, and it just,
And that's a good example.
yeah.
15 up.
And then if you then get an accidental nick or so be it. But you can see how uncomfortable Tim was before the nick.
Yeah.
Oh! 30-15.
Nick is wondering if that ball was indeed short, but the marker's always right.
Indeed.
If he's not, defer back to
40-15.
right around the ring gallery line. Obviously not wearing the headsets for the commentary.
So we've
And
seen a very interesting turnaround, set all, and
6 games to 1.
we're now into fourth
set?
gear.
Oh.
We're out of second gear, and we have a bit more purpose. Very quick set.
And you're seeing the champions that are getting into their
Yeah.
15 up.
They're certainly getting into their attacking mode, and they're not just playing around and enjoying themselves quite as much.
That's a good
That's
serve.
a great serve. There's not much you can do about that, and especially with someone of Tim
30 love.
Chisholm's quality. So that was, watch that one again and find out where it went. Everybody out there, and then
15-30.
try and duplicate that. Vertically challenged again.
They'll get Cam into the
40-15.
Jim start working on his vertical leap.
Spring.
He's barely off the ground. That's a good recovery.
Very good recovery.
Lumley shows length.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Nick, one of his rare misses.
30-40.
He hasn't missed many. You're dead right. He's played a very, very commendable match.
Yeah, in regards to the outcome, I think Nick's going to feel pretty good about himself. He doubles afternoon.
He should too.
And as we say that, we've jinxed him.
Well, I think it was a Yorker after all, right at his feet. Not a lot we can do about that.
And the great rackets showing their wear capacity. Camera boast again.
Chase, 4 yards.
It's a very fast shot. Split the two players.
And Chase,
Wonderful
1 and 2.
sharp
2
volley.
chases.
Took it early, well up the court.
That was a vintage Tim Chisholm cut volley. Looking for relief.
It is what it is.
I'm feeling that. We had chappers here before.
Well, yes, it's interesting. Before you folks out there in the big wide world send in notes and emails and criticising Anderson and I too much, no commentators were listed for the game, and just before the match started, we were called up to see if we could just jump in for the first set. And so this is very much an impromptu effort on our part.
But I will say the pay's great, Graham. So
Second serve, please.
quite enjoyed our hour together here so far.
Yeah, so it looks like we're doing the whole match, so a bit unfortunate for those folks out there who want a point-by-point description, but after all, you can see it all yourself while we have a chat. All right, start of the fourth set.
Advantage, Chase, 1
I
and
think
2.
this will be approached in the same manner by the servers. I think they'll go pretty steadily in their mindset.
Juice.
I think they want to make fairly quick work if they can. Let's see what Cam does with this. A little bit of deception for you.
Yeah,
show the grill and went the opposite direction.
Yeah, and a nice cut.
Advantage.
This court, for those who have not been to Melbourne, the balls here are really good. They're right in the middle of the gauge, or as Jimmy Vosser could say, 2.5 heavy, but they're tied very firmly and they take a lot of cut if you cut the ball, but they'll pop if you don't. And Camden Riviere hit a very, very nice forehand cut shot down there that Nick couldn't get, so it came down pretty severely.
That's good. And the back to deuce. That's a good
Nice
length ball.
Nice Nick. I'll take that.
Advantage.
Good reason to get off the hazard side.
Is that a winning gallery? No, a very cunning shot. Oh my gosh, shot of the tournament nearly.
The ultimate
Game to the
length shot.
servers. First game, 1 game to
Do I
love.
like that?
A millimeter past the winning gallery
Oh.
line.
That's worth a champagne for sure.
Kids, don't try that at home.
Just a fault, maybe? No, might have hit the line.
15 love.
1-0 Riviere and Chisholm.
3 out of 3 is that?
3 out of 3 underhand PKs.
Is that a strike? No, that's out.
That's out.
That's baseball, that's out.
He would be out. Tim doesn't quite give himself the
15 all.
spacing for that. But again, when Tim is on the right side of the court, winning gallery, beware.
But for the young lads at the other
And
end.
there's that crossover that we're talking about.
I do like
Cam.
that, yes. And with the confidence that Tim's going to back him up somewhere. Now they're both up at last game. It's an interesting configuration, but
Can really wreak havoc.
sure could.
Hard to just watch the ball. Not only these two do. And that is what you mentioned where Johnny just defaults to shooting the ball.
Yes.
And blank.
It's interesting that when Nick
30,
gets an easy
15.
ball at the hazard end, and Chisholm is in the main wall corner. When he goes down the centre, he's going on to both or one
40,
of their
15,
backhands.
time please.
But John has a tendency to boast more.
And he's got, I think because he's got the two-handed backhand, and so he can, basically almost like having two forehands. Just makes him think about hitting hard, which probably works against a lot of players.
Game to the service, 2 games to love. Fourth set.
Yes, it can be very effective, but you get a little bit extra look at it. Something I don't see very often is when the main wall force is attempted, I like to hit very thin. And what I mean by that is I aim for the main wall very deep, maybe
4 yards?
4, maybe even 3.
15 left.
Way too deep to go in at a high percentage. They will often hit the back of the wall and come out. But what that does is, if you just mishit it a little early on the main wall, then it'll sneak in. But what that does is it drags the defensive
15
player
all.
over, because they start looking for the deep main wall dead on, and then you can hit it into about second gallery on the main wall and pass their left shoulder when they've already committed to a very deep defence, and I don't see that much.
Well disguised
Chase
drop
better
shot
than
by
the first
Nicky Howell.
gallery.
I'm going to call that the Vinny Phipps sideball serve, just to remember our great friend.
So great, the lob towards the grill is also a
30,
very
50.
effective shot at all
Watch
levels
it.
there.
It is indeed, especially from cross court when the player is often coming up to guard the tambor. Oh dear, down the centre,
I'm guessing that.
or near enough. Excellent
30 all.
force.
Right in the lumberyard. And that's going to be a back wall. I think we're going to see this again.
And the same
40, 30, and Chase better than the first gallery.
Not that much energy expended by. In fact, so little energy he drops his racket. And not walking at light speed, I must admit.
Well, Tim has the semi-slow-mo walk, and that doesn't matter whether he's winning or losing. That's the Chisholm, the cha-cha.
We'll call it the composure walk.
Oh,
The composure walk. Plenty of time to compose himself.
sliding clerget the elbow pad into the corner. The original champ would not be pleased.
40, 30 service.
Okay, let's get
Chase
serious.
better than the first gallery. Better than first.
Other than the first. So it's like the awfully tight railroad, or else something
On the
like
chase.
that.
Lovely,
Yes.
sharp, crisp cut volley. I really like the cut volley speed that is fast enough that can't be cut off. And then it's very tough to handle as it comes off the back wall.
But not so fast when he's giving up accuracy. Exactly. It's a relaxed swing, well left by
It's
Cam.
a very good snap.
Cam, one moment close shot, gets away with it.
Advantage.
Okay, can this
Game point to
can this
three
go
love.
3 love?
Nicky going back to the railroad.
Came off one bouncer. Oh, into the bottom of the net. We don't see that all that often from Riviere. Just showing us variety, I guess.
So you do see Tim starting to get his feel.
Oh, did you get that back?
That's going to work.
Has it done half? No, it's struck it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Through the 5-hole, we would say in American hockey. Oh, perfect range by Nicky Howell. It's done well alternating,
Advantage.
going for targets and going
New
for length.
receivers has
Agree.
better than half a yard.
Could have hit that very, very hard, but
Or could have hit the tammer and given them a chance to play it.
indeed, there's a lot about it that was good, clearly. All
Now.
right, has it better than half, was it?
Game
Receivers
point,
Has
let's
it
see
better
if
than
we can
half
cherry
yard
on top
advantage
and-
receivers?
And get a game here for the Young Guns. Let's see, it's a good leg check. And it's never a bad
Game
thing
to the
find
receivers.
floor.
1 game to 2.
Absolutely.
Fourth set.
A big chance to get out of that game, but good for us.
Did well to get that back, but not that one.
15 left.
very good
Variant
serve.
serves up
Yeah, and short.
And again,
The World Championship
30
winning
love.
point replay, action
Tim.
replay.
convinced that that's Tim's favorite shot in court tennis. I'm sorry.
Chase the door. 30 love, one chase. Stroke, stroke, stroke. Don't kill your partner, please. 15, 30. Not up.
Excellent drive, low force.
It's a great effort to get around
Chase.
that ball
Oh,
and
yeah.
ball that close to
Two
the
chase.
sidewall.
Quick young feet. Oh, excellent. Anders, I think lunch has been brought up. from some of our-
Just too kind.
some of our friends, so that's very kind. We're so loved.
30-15 receivers, first chase. The door.
Lunch is not for us, but
Hope
it won't
springs
be.
eternal.
It won't be that long. It won't be that long.
But here's the
we'll have
opportunity. These
okay.
boys want to get into this and make a match out of this.
This is their chance.
Defensive chases.
Oh, here's another big
Two
chance.
missed opportunities. But Cam takes away the hazard galleries, but smart shot to go behind him.
30 all, chase 4 yards.
Okay.
They won the long chase. Now let's see what they're from.
Yeah, well done.
40-30.
Point to 2-all here. John finding some railroad length here, and that is going to be just. Oh, why did you swing? Like you
Yes.
said, it's not a good railroad, and it's going to be a bad one. There's not much middle ground on them.
It's just not. It's so overrated.
And like the one thing you also mentioned is we've seen Cam and Tim, more so with Cam. We've seen 5 or 6
Advantage.
different types of railroads and
Yes.
long shots, and we've seen basically the same serve over and over and over again.
Yes. Yes.
And that's a
That was a very good one, but it's an exception, not the rule.
Juice.
well, it seems statistically, maybe this would be the time to go for something a little different.
Also, straight in the volley zone.
They definitely do a one bouncer, so that we'll give them benefit of the doubt.
I think we're due for a big four.
So there's the switch. Tim's got the forehand. Almost got the winning gallery.
Doesn't have it covered. Oh, well done, lads.
And Tim about a half step off balance.
Advantage.
And now another game point. Let's see, and John goes back to the railroad. Enough. Oh, it's a shame.
Juice.
Straight into the
Good
volley
enough
zone.
railroad and put the ball in Nicky's racket, but Cam gets it into the numbers.
Champion on the wall. He did indeed. The wallpaper shot.
And that's, I think
Advantage.
John is going to lament not doing more with that one.
I think even letting that go, because they're very good from the hazard end.
So,
Was
now,
indeed.
how we going to take it?
Okay.
Beautiful shot.
Like I said earlier, he's been very impressive with his target hitting.
I think he's probably got the most targets of all 4 players in this match. Considering Tim Chisholm on the other side, that's
No mean
quite an
feat.
accomplishment.
Bang.
Well left, well left, and we have our
Number
7th
7, is it?
7th ball to clear the net on a fly.
Advantage 7.
Oh.
I think the Americans are on steroids.
Okay.
And that's a good railroad.
Indeed. Nice patient return.
Goes to his one-hander.
And it's
oh,
opened up the force down the centre. Well, doesn't get better than that.
That's a beautiful shot. That's a beautiful shot.
Okay, 2-all and well deserved.
I'll tell you, some very
Games to the
smart
service,
shooting,
2
great
games all.
defense on some
Fourth set.
forces, gets a shot, and then picked a good spot to put it. Very little margin of error. And
A lovely
15
name
up.
or dead on,
Tim Chisholm special,
especially from that far up the court.
probably about the 20,000th of his career.
Oh.
No.
30 love.
A generous penthouse back bounce. That is going to. That's deep. Well left by Nikki Howell. Do we have number 8?
Chase the
Saved by
line.
the net.
30 love.
Good thing that went to the wide. If that was in the middle, it would have been number 8. There's Tim practicing his release, as you mentioned.
Yes.
The secret to all that power.
Snap that wrist. Generate the racket speed.
15, 30. Brooks. 40, 15.
Chisholm cut volley.
Chase the line.
Well, I think that if nothing else, you describe the Lumley Howell as pesky, not going away easily.
And that's a lovely sign that they could easily have drop their heads and get a little bit not depressed, but a little bit frustrated. They can't get through such a formidable defence, and I think they're really doing a
40,
great job.
15.
That shows that they're not
Service lead, chase
just
the
happy that they
line.
want a set and have a good showing. They want to win.
You bet.
And they think that the second set is in the balance, just like the first 2 sets. Chisholm's railroad, which is underrated.
Yeah. But once it comes back on
30,
that winning gallery wall and kisses the wall and just comes out a bit,
Kissed a little
it's
too
already
early.
heading to the main wall dead on.
And they
So
got
why
away
not
with it.
help it on its way?
So good. As you mentioned, he goes away from it,
Yeah.
comes up with plan B. Well left by John.
Gallery and Andrew Miller's forehand is a fairly potent thing.
That will be covered.
I'm sure he didn't mean that, but we'll take it.
I'm sure that when he got his
Aim
record,
to
I
the
think he was
service,
going in
3
that
games to
general
2.
area.
Yes, in that corner, but we'll take it. Very entertaining.
Cam has a thing called Trick Shot Tuesdays when he's down at Georgian Court in Lakewood, where he practices fairly novel shots. That could be one of them.
Yeah.
That's a good roll from that shot,
Indeed. As opposed to that one.
as opposed to that one.
Not quite
50
as
love.
good.
As someone who loves topspin from lawn tennis, to find situationally, it's a great little disruptor.
There's a Riviere chance.
Let's see what he does.
And a very nice chance. I'm not looking forward to getting this back. That was a wonderful kill.
I'll put a
30
2 in Pierre's
Yes.
eyes short on the hammer.
And that's what he could have done some moments ago when we were mentioning his other option.
It goes
Grill.
changes. One thing you can learn from Cam,
15,
serves,
30.
he never hits 2 serves the same.
I like that.
So that's the first one didn't kiss the sidewall, and now it does. So he doesn't want you getting comfortable.
No, that's good. Never let them
40,
get a
15.
rhythm.
Well, the one thing you can do is hit the base of the timbre 20 times in a row, and you'll probably win 19 of those
That's
points.
true.
40, 15.
Okay.
And there he goes back to the slot railroad. Nicky with good footwork. I don't
Now
know.
Out of
court.
Game to the service.
Jumped away for
4
2.
games to 2.
4 games to 2. Now they've gotten a little breathing room. Just a question, because you know the court so well. What is the height to the first tier of lights up
I
there?
think it's 9 metres,
15 love.
maybe 9.5. Not that high.
It's interesting.
I like higher ceilings, so
giraffe.
that encourages
15 all.
the high serves like the Chandelle and the Giraffe.
Actually, shout goes out to the new Wellington court. Hopefully people over there are watching. And in the designs, William Mulvey, who was such a driving force in the concept and the realization, part of the circumstances, the criteria was that you have a high ceiling because he's known for having one of the best giraffes in the amateur games. You wanted to make sure that he had plenty of clear space for that.
Well, I think that's great because all the players who come in the future for however long on that court will be the beneficiaries of that.
And I'll say it's foresight. Someone who was fortunate to go out there for the opening weekend.
That is ridiculous.
From the get-go, it's fantastic.
Oh, great.
40-15.
Fantastic. The optics, and they're still polishing it. They're still doing some
Fine tuning.
fine tuning. But I'll tell you, they did quite well, and they had help with Little Achille, who helped build that Middlesex court. And
Okay.
To the service, 5 games
sticking
to
to
2,
the
full set.
Bickley principles and
Good, good.
even down to the exact angle of the hammer.
Oh, good.
And it's a welcome addition to the tennis community.
I look forward to playing it.
Hope you get over there. You're going to be very, very pleasantly. Going for the gallery.
Arthur,
Although a little more gently
30
than
left.
Yes.
occasionally.
I think Tim is listening to you. He was just inside the ring gallery. Find your chaplain.
40 left.
Okay, this didn't take long.
Up.
Oh,
Number 5, and you've
And
got
in.
the underarm PK.
and that is up and out of court.
Thank you. 15-40.
Match game.
Change the serve again. It's
Good
good,
both.
lovely both.
Had Tim out of position.
Oh,
Again, that's
Chase the line.
the second best disguised drop shot of Nikki Howell today. It looks like a force the first 30 feet and then just dies.
steep deceleration via the net cord.
You asked for deception, and I think that is the
That's the ultimate. Get that back, as Julian Snow would say. Get that back. Okay, lads, last chance.
30-15 to the
30,
servers,
40,
trying to
15,
stave
chase
off
the
elimination
line.
here. 2 chases. John Lumley sticking with his railroad, and
Oops.
he may have wished he didn't.
He sure is. They're back in the
now.
chance. Oh, gosh, how did they get out of this?
Beautiful.
Great finish.
He out-cammed on that one.
Game to the service. 3 games
We
to
now
5.
3-5, so
have, no, I think it's 3-4. 3-5, yes.
they got there very
15
quickly.
left.
1 match game staved off.
Up.
Cool.
It's been Nicky bearing his length. Not letting the Chisholm War Machine get.
I like that. Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna
A little tiring.
30 left.
opportunity there. It was a good serve.
Sure was.
Stroke. 40 left.
Is that triple match point?
Yeah, not well left there. And now triple match point for the receivers.
And
And space for Tim to
feed the beast.
feed the beast.
And if you don't want him to get out of that. Well,
Game and the match. For the receivers.
very good.
See the world's #1 in the world.
6-4, 5-6, 6-1, 6-3.
Well, Anders, it was a lot of fun. I think the young lads,
Yep, closing thoughts.
they really did well. I was very pleased that they kept charging all the time. And the combination of Nicky Howe playing fast and straight, I thought mixes well with John Lumley, who likes to hit it around the walls a lot. I think it shows great promise for the future, and I hope we see them as a combination in future events.
Yeah, this could be, looking at the top teams as they are, and there's been a little bit of movement with Fahey Vergona split up, and we've got some combinations, but both players in their 20s, and they seem to gel well. They complement each other, and they've got some good results in some not a lot of time together so far.
Yeah, so we'll see, and so we're looking forward to the second semi-final coming later this afternoon. There'll be a properly listed commentating team, I hope,
Graham, I think you're selling yourself way short.
Well,
I think that some excellent color commentary and history, and I think that the Vergona Chris Chapman is a very interesting team. You've got that lefty-righty combination. You've got, obviously, Steve Vergona's got a wealth of experience and been a world champion for 10 years running. And they
playing two amateurs, which is, I think, a wonderful thing.
playing Kieran
Booth and Brett Richardson.
who are obviously well acquainted with each other and are very, very strong doubles team.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't take that for granted if I was
I would not either.
Chris and Steve.
I think if they just go out quietly cruising, they might be in for a little shock.
And you never know, Steve with his eye on tomorrow's singles. It'll be interesting where his head's going to be in that.
True.
And then you also have Chris Chapman, who obviously lost a heartbreaking singles quarterfinals after coming back from 2 sets love down to actually being at 4 love up in the 5th and not closing that match.
Oh, yes. Oh.
It's on both sides. Both sides.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
until next time.
That's a final goodbye from me and a final goodbye from him. And we hope to see you all when we travel over to the US and the UK this calendar year. Okay.
Cheers, Graham.
Goodbye all. Cheerio.
But you wonder why people don't. So he's signing to me for a bit, and now I get everybody in the game.